Alright guys and gals, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be comparing the Note 9 versus the LG V40 ThinQ. Now you could compare, more evenly the S9 Plus because this Note 9 has a stylus, but both of these phones have 6.4-inch OLED displays. They are good displays, They are both running the Snapdragon 845 processor, and they both have 6 gigs of RAM. And so, the specs are, pretty similar. And I'll keep this brief. I'm not going to make a long video because if you're like me, you've seen a million videos comparing these two. But I think one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is because a lot of times when you see these phones side by side in comparisons, people make it seem like there's this huge chasm between them. And I think if you were to use these individually, you wouldn't see that. Now, off the bat, I will say the Samsung is the better phone. It has a better display. The display is probably about, just doing the eye test, about 20 to, let's slide that out of the way, 20 to 25% brighter. It's a little bit sharper. The cameras are better. And then also, this phone has stereo speakers, and it's a fingerprint magnet, just like this one, but has stereo speakers. They both have multiple cameras and fingerprint sensors on the back, as you can see. The fingerprint sensors are fast, easy to use. Like I said, both displays are very good. None of these phones are laggy. One thing you want to consider when you're considering even Samsung versus LG is the fact that this phone is running Android 10. This is running Android 8 dot something. I can't remember. But LG does not support their phones, their update as quickly as I would like. So that's kind of a drawback. But I would say just in day-to-day use, you wouldn't notice that big of a difference even between the displays. Like I said, this one's a little sharper and brighter, but if I gave you these phones separately and you didn't have them side by side, you wouldn't even know. The same thing with the camera. The selfie cameras are about the same. The rear shooters, you probably notice the Samsung's a little better, but I think as far as what is the better phone depends upon your needs and your situation. So this phone is a much, 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 much better value than this phone. So I just got this phone. I paid about $400 for it, and then I got this phone on eBay for $150, and the guy that was selling it had like hundreds more. So this phone is not twice as good as this phone. And so this is a best value, just a better value overall. The camera is good. The fingerprint sensor is good. The display is good. If the stereo speakers are not really a deal breaker and you're not really a Samsung fanboy, I would go with this phone, honestly. I mean, it's so cheap. It is a huge fingerprint magnet. The only real drawback I would say on this phone is the update situation, and then also that it does not have a LED indicator on it. So that kind of drives me crazy. And I like things about the UI on this versus the UI on that, and vice versa. So that's kind of like a personal preference. And to me, honestly, you can customize Android so much that it really won't make a difference. You can make either phone yours. But I just wanted to make a brief video. Like I said, I'm not going to get super specky in it. These are both great phones. If I had to go with a phone, I would go with this one, even though this one's a better phone. This phone is so cheap, the entry level, and you won't notice a real difference. So I'm just going to leave it at that. The reason I got this phone, like I said, is because I have had Notes in the past. They're just more familiar to me. And I do make videos with my phone. So, I'm not, on a tight budget. So paying the extra to have a slightly better camera, stereo speakers, when I'm watching Netflix and things like that, it is kind of worth it to me. But I've had this phone for just like 2 months, and it's been super solid. Cameras work well, sound is good. As you can see, the blacks on this display are excellent. You can't go wrong with either phone. Okay, and one last thing I forgot to mention, and that is that the Note is a bulkier phone. Like, this phone is heavier and it is bulkier. And especially if you don't have a case on it, you can definitely tell the difference. And just to give you an idea, we'll go ahead and weigh the phone. So this is the LG. And as you can see, it says 168 grams. And then we'll put the Note on there. and as you can see, it says 212 grams. Now, this Note does have a screen cover on it, but the screen cover does not weigh that much. The last thing I'll mention is the fingerprint readers. So both of these have rear-mounted fingerprint readers, and the one on the LG is much easier to use. They're both pretty accurate, but the one on the LG is more comfortable because, as you can see, it's more the traditional circle, and it's just easy to put your hand on from the back or from the front of the phone. And then this one, it's just a smaller area for your finger to land, so it's not quite as comfortable. And then you're still getting close to the camera. It's not as bad as the Note 8, but if you miss and you hit here, you're hitting the camera. And on this one, there's a bit more space, and it's laid out a bit better. And as you can see, the phone unlocks pretty quickly. All right, and there's one more additional item that I would like to kind of go over with these two phones. This is the LG again, and this is the Note 9. The Note 9 has a curved glass display, and the LG's glass is a little bit curved, but it's more square, and to me, it's more functional. Alright guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up here. I would like to thank you all for watching this extended version of this comparison. Even with this video being longer, I understand there are a lot of things that I missed. Phones have so many different functions and aspects these days that it's really hard to cover them all in a short video or a video of any length. So if you do have questions or comments or anything, leave them below. I'll try to answer them, respond to them as best I can. Again, these are two great phones. I hope this video was informative for you, and thank you again for watching.